Disneyland is in a bit of a transition week and is starting to feel a little uneven. The Star Wars is kicking off, but May the 4th is rolling out very differently this year. New food items are arriving across both parks, and Food and Wine is coming to an end at DCA. At the same time, Disneyland is testing new entry tech at the gates. A rare Main Street window honoring a mother-daughter legacy was just added, and a Magic Key event is bringing something a little different to the parks this summer. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, I'm Julie from Main Street U.S.A. Studios. Let's get into this week's latest. A new May the 4th booty guide dropped this week, and this one stood out for a different reason. Disneyland had no food items listed at all. Disney World and Disneyland Paris both got multiple themed items, but Disneyland was completely missing from the guide in terms of new food items. We did see some of the previously revealed popcorn buckets, sippers, and swizzle sticks that were announced about a week or two ago, but still no actual food lineup for the park. There was another foodie guide release, but it was only for the sold-out Star Wars After Dark event nights. Since those are limited events, most guests won't even have access to that food. And that's making this all feel a little off. Disneyland is still getting some Star Wars additions right now though, just not in a really coordinated way that looks anything like we've seen in the past. And keep in mind we're getting the Hyperspace Mountain overlay and an updated Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run experience featuring the Mandalorian. But we don't have an official Season of the Force this year at Disneyland. However, starting April 29th, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge does shift its timeline, bringing in the characters from across the trilogies like we've mentioned. We're going to see Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Leia, and Han. We're also guessing there's going to be some hype around the new Mandalorian and Grogu film as it releases on May 22nd. So in one way, Disneyland is adding more to its Star Wars presence, but then at the same time, it's pulling back in areas like food and Season of the Force. You're going to find a new option at park entry, and this one is getting a lot of attention. At Disneyland and DCA, facial recognition is now part of how guests enter. The system takes a photo of your face and converts it into a unique numerical value, basically a face print, to match you to your ticket and help speed up entry. But we've learned you don't have to use it. There are now clearly marked lanes for guests who want to opt out of facial recognition. If you do opt for those lanes, cast members may still take a photo, but it won't be processed through their biometric system. And Disney says the data is deleted within 30 days unless it's needed for things like fraud prevention, and that they have protections in place for guest information. So when you're walking into the parks, you're choosing now between the standard biometric entry or the opt-out lane. And it kind of feels like Disney knows this is one of those features people are a little divided on, so giving a clear opt-out option makes a lot of sense here. And we have a brand new Main Street window, and this one actually feels pretty special. The new window is dedicated to Imagineer Kim Irvine and her mother, Leota Toombs. So what's exciting here is that this is a first. It's the only mother-daughter window on Main Street. If you're not as familiar with the windows on Main Street, it's one of the highest honors Disney gives, possibly after something like the Disney Legends ceremony. These windows are only added after retirement and only for people who've had a major impact on the parks. If you're not familiar, Kim Irvine spent over 50 years with Imagineering, helping shape the look and feel of Disneyland from color styling to major projects. And she stepped into her mom's legacy in a really unique way. This is really cool. So her mother, Leota Toombs, is literally part of the Haunted Mansion. She was the face of Madame Leota, and her first name is Leota. So Leota is that floating head inside the crystal ball in the ride. She also voiced little Leota at the end of the ride, the one who tells you to hurry back. Years later, Leota's daughter Kim took over performing that role for the holiday version of the attraction. If you're looking for the window, it is above Crystal Arts on Main Street, and it's themed around their work with details tied to glass, creativity, and a little nod to the supernatural. We love this one because the Haunted Mansion is obviously iconic, but also it's kind of a rare moment where you can see the legacy continuing from one generation to the next inside of the Disneyland world. And we've got some new food items rolling out in Disneyland and DCA starting this Tuesday, April 28th. At Jolly Holiday in Disneyland, check out this new orange cream cheesecake. Orange cheesecake topped with vanilla chantilly and orange crunch. At Lamplight Lounge at DCA, you'll find this new lemon blueberry cobbler donut dipped in cream cheese frosting topped with lemon blueberry compote. You'll also find the new Lamplight Old Fashioned. At Pim Dust Kitchen in DCA, you'll find this new Philly cheesesteak grilled cheese, pepper and onion grilled cheesesteak topped with cheese sauce and crunchy manipulated particles served with potato bites. Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta in DCA has this new cinnamon roll cheesecake, cinnamon cheesecake with cream cheese frosting. And Plaza Inn at Disneyland has this new strawberry mini cake, strawberry bundt cake filled with strawberry jam and fresh strawberries topped with sweetened condensed milk, glaze, white chocolate mousse, a mini bow, and chocolate ears. And kind of a unique magic key holder perk coming up. Disney is inviting magic key holders to join the Chalk Walk on August 2nd at Disneyland. So if you haven't heard about this one, basically it's an early morning 5K walk through both of the parks. So you get to go through Disneyland and DCA before they open, and you get to see some characters along the way. And if you're not as familiar with Chalk, this is all to support the Children's Hospital of Orange County. If you want to join the Magic Key team, you do have to raise at least $125, and there are a couple little extras, like you do get a rally towel, and the top fundraiser gets a one-night stay at the Disneyland Hotel. Last year, this event raised over $80,000 with just a few hundred people, so it's a pretty cool event. Kind of a different perk for Magic Key holders, but a fun one. Food and wine at DCA ends tomorrow, April 27th. So now we're getting into that kind of in-between moment. We don't get another DCA-style food festival until the holidays start November 18th. But we're not totally out of events. We do have the Star Wars After Dark nights coming up at Disneyland Park, Pride nights, and the 70th anniversary at Disneyland Resort is obviously still going on. That one ends August 9th. So basically the rest of spring and a chunk of summer are actually pretty festival free. In closure and construction updates, let's start in Disneyland. Main Street is still having some facade updates. It does look like this is just some sprucing up. Edelweiss Snacks is still behind walls, but you can still order food from here if you're trying to. And some good news, the Jungle Cruise just reopened yesterday. Roger Rabbit is closed with no reopening dates. And unfortunately, the monorail is also closed with no reopening date now through early June. Buzz Lightyear is closed with no reopening date. It has those walls all around the ride entrance to the exterior of the ride, so it looks like some work done on the outside for this one. Pirates and Blue Bayou close in just over a week on May 4th, but Blue Bayou does reopen May 21st. Pirates still does not have a reopening date listed. Over at DCA, Inside Out still has no reopening date, but it seems like something serious has gone wrong and needs to be fixed based on how much of the ride they've taken down. Toy Story Midway Mania reopened yesterday and is just as popular as ever. There was over a 100-minute wait time on Saturday evening this week. And then Silly Symphony Swings closes tomorrow, April 27th.
Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe for more.